welcome to the second year of the Sydney International EV Autoshow. And as usual, we've got a great mix of people here in the room tonight. And thank you for the media for your support over the last 3 years. We really have gone on a journey in reference to where we are and what's happened to the industry over the last 3 years. And here today, we're very proud to be able to showcase some excellent motor vehicles across a wide span. So we have new models that are released for the first time, together with some excellent examples of various segments of EVs and NEVs that are now available. Tonight you walk around with Riz and Tom, who will show you exactly what we're able to present. We're really keen for your support. We're keen. This industry is a very tight industry. It needs everyone's cooperation. So we're hoping to see a lot of buzz tonight, a lot of buzz online. So without further ado, if you're coming to join us over the next 3 days, we certainly welcome you at the event. We've got a large audience attending. We had 30,000 in Melbourne in June. We're expecting a similar audience over the weekend here. And as we move into what next year, as we're told, could be 70 new models coming to market. Shows like this one and Everything Electric and other shows in the space have a place to really showcase and help these visitors, particularly quality visitors, come to an event, understand, get to learn, connect and grow with the EV journey. So again, thank you for your presence and enjoy. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray, and thanks everyone for being here. I think we're going to be firstly starting out at the Jaecoo stand, which is just behind us. So we're all here. We'll just sort of walk over and see what Tim and the team at Jaecoo have to sort of reveal and showcase.
So yeah, long walk here to Jaecoo. So we're going to have Roy talk about the brand and the products and what they've got to showcase over the next couple of days. And the technology they're bringing into our market.
I think we're just going to have a unveil of the J5, so over to the man in orange.
New model.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. It's a real pleasure to welcome you here to the Sydney International EV Show on behalf of the Omoda Jaecoo brand. Today marks an important milestone for us as we introduce the all-new Jaecoo J5 alongside its siblings, the J7 Super Hybrid and the Omoda 9 Super Hybrid flagship. Since its global debut, Jaecoo has been committed to blending urban style with an adventurous spirit. With the J5, that vision takes a major leap forward, merging intelligent electric performance with the same sense of adventure that defines the Jaecoo name. This is not just another EV, it's an evolution, one that proves electric vehicles can be both sustainable, adventurous, and beautiful. From the first glance, the J5 makes a statement. Its bold, minimalist design is unmistakably Jaecoo. Confident proportions, clean lines, and a commanding presence. Step inside and you'll find a calm, crafted interior that feels more boutique lounge than it does car cabin. Complete with premium materials, advanced digital interfaces, and intuitive design that places the driver at the centre of the experience. Underneath that elegance lies a capability. The J5's advanced electric architecture delivers a range of over 400 kilometres, 155 kilowatts and 288 newton metres of torque, giving you the power and confidence to take on the city or the open road without compromise. With over 35 storage spaces and up to 1,180 litres of boot space, the Jaecoo J5 is the big small SUV, ready for everything. From the school run to weekend escapades and everyday commuting needs. And we can't forget the extended family also. The J5 is equipped with an AC filtration system that blocks pet hair and an antibacterial health system to prevent bacterial growth. Additionally, the J5 offers pet-friendly optional accessories, such as feeding devices and boarding steps, catering to pet owners who frequently travel with their furry companions. The J5 also has an optional karaoke system for your carpool karaoke sessions as well. So today, as you experience the Jaecoo J5 for the first time, we invite you to see what happens when bold design meets pure electric freedom. I'm also excited to announce our Sydney EV Show special. Pre-order now and Jaecoo Australia will match your deposit up to $2,000 plus free premium plan. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts as you explore the all-new Jaecoo J5. Thank you again.
Any questions for us on the J5 or any of the other products we have on display here tonight?
J5 It's asking when the J5 will be, deliveries will start?
We will officially launch very early February next year, and test drives will be available circa January.
Any other questions?
Any questions from the Volvo team?
Everyone's shy is the
I've
first
got,
stand.
what colours have you got for us?
I don't know the special names for them, but they'll be white, grey, blue and black. There's more creative marketing names, which is still subject to change.
Embargoed, yeah.
Cool. I'll ask a question. So Roy, this, I mean, looks lovely. First time, of course,
Thank
we're
you.
seeing it here. In terms of Jaecoo being still a relatively new brand to the market, obviously comes to the backing of Cherry and all the products that we've already got in the lineup. How have the consumers received the brand so far, and what do you think, the new J5 is going to bring into our market for those consumers that have been just sitting on the fence on whether they should make the switch, get into a new brand with tech? What are your sort of thoughts and how the brand's been received?
Yep. Thanks, Riz. The brand's been well received by the market, in particular our super hybrid models that have launched before the J5. So, being an EV show, we know that a lot of consumers coming here are here to look at electric vehicles, but what the beauty of the super hybrid system is, it's the perfect car for the EV curious buyer. So if you're on the fence about EV, you want that electric drive feel, but still a bit worried about range anxiety, super hybrid is a perfect choice. However, if an electric vehicle meets your needs, we also now have that in the J5.
Wonderful, thank you.
Sorry, one last quick one. Can you just briefly explain the differentiation between the Jaecoo brand and the motor?
Yeah, sure. So Omoda is more our fashion-forward technology brand, whereas the Jaecoo is more your adventurous vehicle. And you can see that in the styling as well. Your more coupe, close-lung roof line to this more boxy, rugged exterior.
Do you think the super hybrid is sort of more applicable to that adventure customer?
It really depends on what you define as adventure, right? I think it's more a use case because in the super hybrid, of course, you do get powerful acceleration, you get all-wheel drive. If that suits your sense of adventure, I guess so.
All right, everyone, welcome to Leap Motor. We've got Andy White here to tell us more about the stand. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Tom. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Leap Motor stand. We're really excited to be here at Sydney, participating at the EV show, and more importantly, here in a market that we think understands the value of innovation, particularly where it's practical and makes sense. So Leap Motor, we're really proud to be part of that journey. Thus far, at the beginning of 2025, Leap Motor in China has maintained its position in #1 sales for new energy vehicle startups. Not only has Leap Motor outsold its competition on a monthly basis, but also on a cumulative basis as well. But in addition to that, we're really committed to building a global brand, and as of now, we have a presence in 30 countries globally, and that's still growing. But today, I'm here to talk to you about the B10, our newest small SUV to the family. And deliveries of the B10 are just arriving in dealerships as we speak. Now the B10 is built on the strong foundation of the C10, sharing a lot of its strengths: refined tech, great design, and a commitment to quality. But the B10 has been thoughtfully tailored to those that are looking for something a little bit smaller, a little bit more city-friendly, but without compromising on versatility and, most importantly, accessibility. Initial feedback of the B10 has been fantastic, and it really shows us that the momentum here in Australia in particular, that customers are looking for a new EV experience. They want it to be fun, they want it to be high-tech, but they also want it to be affordable. For us, the B10, we believe, to be one of the most competitively positioned vehicles in its segment, and that's the small SUV segment. Now, that's not just about price, it's about value. So from the intuitive design to all of the intelligent safety features and driver assistant features, the B10 is fun to drive, but also very, very accessible to our customers. Let me give you a couple of proof points. It has a range of up to 516 kilometres on the design long-range variant and ultra-fast DC charging. Comes standard with 17 driver assistance features, 360-degree camera, glass panoramic roof, smart-looking design. It's backed by Stellantis and comes with Leap Motor Care, which is 6 years new car warranty, 8 years on the battery, 8 years cat price servicing, 8 years roadside assistance. And to top it off, it starts from an amazing drive-away price of $38,990 for the style, and then $41,990 for the design. Now, making the decision to electric is a significant one. We understand that, and that's why we've really focused on making the B10 not just a smart car, but it's a smart choice. It's about having the tech, having the design, and making sure that the vehicle is catered for your lifestyle, whether that be the city commute or the weekend getaway, but without compromise. For us, that's a big step. It's a big step in terms of trying to make electric mobility more affordable for more people. So with that, I thank you for joining me this afternoon on the stand, and I look forward to seeing more of these B10s on the road. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. Any questions for Andy at all from the floor? I'll pass the mic around.
0 to 100? Sorry? 0 to 100?
0 to 100.
Depends on how fast you put your foot down. 8 seconds.
When you say ultra fast charging, how fast is that?
So it can go from 30 to 80% in 20 minutes.
So are you saying sub 100 or above 100 kilowatts DC fast charging?
The DC fast charging is 140 on the style, and I think 160 on the design. Is it? Chrissy, you're my tech person, aren't you? Are you checking the brochure?
Will you be bringing the BEV and the REEV as well? For B10?
It hasn't been announced yet, but the plan is that we will bring an REV. Anyone know what an REV is?
No.
Yeah, so it's a range extended EV, and for us, we're really excited about that technology. We've seen it on the C10, and the feedback has been really, really positive on it. Basically, the car always runs on electric, but you have the petrol there as a generator. So from a driving experience perspective, it always feels like electric, but from a range anxiety perspective, your car now does, on this one, 1,150 kilometres. So, you know, Melbourne to Sydney, no problems.
Thanks, Andy. From the outside, they look, quite unique in their own sense, quite stylish, as you sort of mentioned before. Can you tell us a little bit about the interior features of the B10 that are a little bit different? Because I think when people get a chance to have a look at it, they'll find quite a bit of surprise on the inside.
Yeah, you're spot on. I think a lot of the press early on just said, oh, the B10 is just the smaller version of the C10. But in actual fact, if you come up close, it's not. While that is a more targeted, more luxurious sort of finish, this is a much more contemporary, a much more sort of sporty, funky to it. So some of the things you find inside to get in the car is that it's got air vents, and then there are lights around the air vents that actually pulsate and dance to the music, as opposed to along the bit different in that one. But you also find that there's more usable space in terms of the design. It's a smaller car, yet it still has 22 different compartments for you to put all your stuff in. And then there's quite a unique dash in there that can be multi-purposed. And we're working on bringing over the accessories for it, but you can actually mount like a work table and things into the front dash itself to make it mobile office as well. So I would welcome everyone to take a look after the presentation and experience it for yourself.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone, and enjoy the show.
Thanks.
Thanks everyone. We're here at Volvo. We've got Stephen Connor, who's the Managing Director of VolvoCarsAus, here to share some of the most exciting Scandinavian products here on display at the Sydney EV show. Over to you, Stephen.
Thanks, Riz. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Volvo world. So pleased to have you here today. First of all, we're very, very proud to be here. Thanks to the organisers. I know you're all desperate for a glass of champagne, so we won't keep you too long. I am, by the way, and just in case you needed to know that. A couple of things. Firstly, we're very proud of our heritage. I'm not going to dazzle you today with the fancy lights. I'll leave that to the other guys and the competitors. We are a brand steeped in history. We've got 98 years worth of heritage, and we're very proud of that heritage. We're the only brand that created the three-pronged seatbelt in '59, and we gave that away, gave that patent away so the world become a safer place. And as you walk around today, I'd love you to understand from the competitors what have they done to pass that to the world. So we're very proud of these things we do. We didn't do it for any other reason outside of the designers and the owners of Volvo wanted to make the world a safer place. And that's really, really powerful. Shortly after that, we then created the Lamberson, which is the catalytic converter of the new world. I know that's not relevant for today's presentation, but again, we gave that design to the world, and we were the first designers and the first manufacturer to offer that, again, to make the world a cleaner place. So again, I'd like to come back to who we are. We are steeped in history, steeped in heritage, and we're very, very proud of that. And we're just a humble little Swedish brand, which is the important part of it. Now, importantly today, we've launched 5 new models in the market lineup this year, and it's been a busy year for us, as you can probably tell. 3 of those 5 models are here, and we've got 2 that we're not allowed to show because they're plug-in hybrids and obviously mild hybrids. But here today, we've got a great lineup for you. We've got our EX30 Cross Country, which goes on the market next month for our customers. And as you can see, rugged little design, a lovely feature to our family. We launched the EX30 last year, and that was #1 in that segment from launch, and has been for the entire year, so we're really proud of that car. So as you can see, we've got a great extension to the family there as well. Over to the right, we've got our EX40, which has been around a couple of years now, and again, that's doing very, very well in its market segment, and again, the next step up from the EX30. A couple of cars I'd really like to mention today. Our ES90 you'll see over there, which is obviously our largest crossover, I think you would call it. It's beautiful in terms of design. That car will go on display next month, and customer deliveries will start shortly after that. So again, we're back into the electric vehicle range. And this one here, our EX90, fully electric 7-seater. It's probably the only true launch of a 7-seater. Even our friend, Mr. Bodnich, at 6'4.5", can sit in the back quite comfortably on a long journey. So that just shows you, obviously, what we do. And again, just to reiterate who we are, we're a car company steeped, and we design cars around people, which is really, really important. So here's our display today. We're very, very proud of who we are. We're very, very proud of being Swedish, and we're very, very proud of our heritage. And yes, I could tell you that some of our cars do 0 to 100 in 3.9 seconds, but that's not the Volvo way, and that's not who we are. So thank you for listening to me. Have you got any questions? A little bit different to the others, I know. Right? But I'm also English, never mind. Don't hold that against me. Any questions?
I'll get started. Here, Steve.
Oh, right.
All good. So I had the honor of looking at the Volvo EX30 Cross Country a couple of weeks ago now in the Southern Highlands, and just really impressed with obviously the styling and how it's a bit more jacked up now, ready for adventure. The accessories you've got here, that particular roof rack sort of a setup, is that a standard option that people can purchase straight from Volvo?
They can purchase it direct from us. It's an accessory that comes with the car. And one thing I'd like to point out, and Riz knows this, if you have a closer look here on the front of the car, you'll see the coordinates of where the car was actually made and obviously where it goes. So just here you'll see the coordinates as well. So again, we try and bring a little bit of heritage with all of our cars as well, but that's an accessory which is available to purchase from launch. Any other questions?
The 90, do you have any pricing on indication?
The EX90 we do, and I would throw that to my 88990 plus on roads. Hi.
With the electric cars, are you seeing a lot of people like who are previous Volvo owners coming in, or are they new to the brand?
That's a very good question. We're seeing a bit of both, really, and that's not a cop-out in terms of an answer. What we're seeing is, obviously, we're drawing lots of people from other competitors to come to us. We will be selling about 50% of our product next year will be fully electric, and we're on the journey to be fully electric in the near future as well. So we're seeing some people migrate through, but, and I won't steal our thunder tomorrow because we're on a panel, but what you're seeing nowadays is that the market is changing so much that people are looking for mild hybrids, they're looking for plug-in hybrids, and they're looking for battery electric. And I think there's a place for everybody. So yes, we're seeing the market, but just to say that the EX30 was #1 in that segment shows you that we're pulling customers, because we've never been in that segment before, shows that we're putting people from other segments and other manufacturers, which is really exciting. Any other questions?
Do you think there's a big opportunity in Australia for that adventure EV sort of space? I mean, obviously we're a pretty sort of random bunch of people in terms of the cars that we drive. Do you think that there's sort of even more that Volvo will be looking at doing in that space?
I'm glad you said random. I'm not that sad at being English, because actually, I'll give you an analogy, right? Coming from the UK, I was really shocked here that everybody has to have a tow bar on the back of their cars, right? Where I'm going with this is simply this. So yes, Australia is different to the rest of the world. We like to think and we like to be adventurous, and we all, an amount of friends I have who drive a ute. How rare do they actually go off-road, but they love the ute. This is great, right? And how many of my friends have got tow bars? Probably all of them. How many actually use a tow bar? Probably none, is the analogy. So do I think people use it off-road? It's not designed, obviously, as a true off-roader. So, you know, you won't be going through hills and everything else and, you know, actually off-road, but it's designed to be adventurous. So the people who want to go camping, who are slightly off-road, off the beaten track, absolutely, it's designed exactly for that. Will people actually use it? It's a bit like the ute scenario, it's a bit like the tow bars. I'd love to think people will do, and I'm pretty sure some will. I don't think all of the customers who buy that car will be off-roading. But again, we are different.
Do you see people migrating from hybrids up into EVs, or is it kind of a bit of a split between brands?
Yeah, so my view is a little bit simplistic in that space, right? I don't think there's loads of options, right? We all talked about diesel years ago. We all said, oh, you know, diesel will never take off. Then all of a sudden it's another part of our mainstream. What I will say to this is that households nowadays are looking at a couple of things. One is most families have two cars. One car will be in the future fully electric. I genuinely believe that because we all want to do the right thing, right? Every manufacturer wants to do the right thing by going fully electric. It's a matter of time that we get there, not if we get there. I think that's the important thing. Secondly, we still have range anxiety in Australia. Yep, and some of that is found and some of that is not found, and some of that is just our own fear factor. So my personal belief is that what will happen in the future, you'll have a family with two cars. One will be fully electric, the other one will be a plug-in hybrid. You look at the technology nowadays, technology is amazing. We've gone from having plug-in hybrids that can only do 30k on a battery, now do over 100k on a battery. And you've got the backup of fully petrol as well. So that's my simplistic view. But also as well, we've got to take into consideration the rural guys. You know, it's very hard to get generators or whatever it might be out in the bush. So they're going to still want their diesels. Diesels will be around a long, long while. That's not our business. It's not where we want to be. But there will be a market for it, whilst that will shrink over a period of time. So to answer your question, I think there will be more people venturing to fully electric, and there will be more people venturing to plug-in hybrid. And it's a great step between, you know, having mild hybrid and going fully electric. It gives you the ability to do both. And I think that's kind of where the market will lead to. We're starting to see that already, that plug-in hybrid is starting to shoot in terms of its growth, which is great. Pleasure.
Thank you, Stephen, from Volvo. Please put your hands together for Stephen.
Now can we have champagne?
Nearly. We actually are ahead of time, believe it or not. That's probably the first time this ever happened. So we are actually going to slow you down a little bit, and Riz and I are actually going to have a little Q&A, a little 5-minute podcast, I think, just to slow you guys down so we're not too early for drinks, because otherwise they'll be ready for us. So Riz, how many iterations of the EV show we had now from Future Drive Auto?
So here in Sydney, this is the second one. I think Melbourne's on to, they've just had their third.
So 5, really, isn't it?
Yes.
And reflecting 5 shows ago, that's like 2022, 23. How far have we come, honestly, in the last 3 years?
Well, the amount of products, like the products on the market that you're seeing here today and what we've sort of had over the last 18 months, there's brands here that do not have the legacy such as what Volvo does, but they're bringing in technologies as well. Some of them we've already seen, and there is just the evolution and the choice that consumers have is incredible compared to, I think, 3 years ago.
I think that was one of the issues 3 years ago. People were saying, not enough choice. You can either buy a Tesla, maybe a BYD, not much else. And then price as well. Price, everyone's saying it's too expensive, but you saw at Leapmotor, it's quite an affordable price. All those good options now too. But the price is coming down, it's becoming more affordable.
And you know, that's part of it as well. I mean, a vehicle like the Volvo EX30, a couple of years ago, that was just, you know, before it was announced, there wasn't a car in that segment that was fully electric, that was in that sort of premium to luxury segment. And we've got that, and now there's iterations of that, but also there's just so much more choice that is coming into the market, which means consumers no longer have to say whether, you know, there isn't enough out there, it's still too early, or there's not enough charging infrastructure. People are seeing these cars on the road, and the first time they get into one of these electric vehicles is what they're sort of realizing that this is the future. Whether they're ready to take the leap now or in the next couple of years, at least the options are here.
And you mentioned charging, and I always like to. Riz is the data bank, so car loop, you want data, that's where you go. But how many charging stations have we got now compared to petrol stations? That's always a good start.
Yeah, so there's about 6,000 petrol stations around the country. And right now we have just hit 1,450 fast charging sites across, pretty much all of Australia. And there's some states that are doing better than others. So New South Wales is definitely the benchmark when it comes to fast charging. And there's so much choice, and the government's really gotten involved. Some of them will be here tomorrow at the live stage talking about some of the things that they've been involved with to get more fast chargers co-funded and installed by big private operators, whether it's Tesla, Ampol, BP. And because of that sort of lead, a lot of the private companies are putting money into New South Wales. So New South Wales is a great place to be able to buy an electric car because the charging infrastructure is just everywhere, and it's only increasing quite rapidly. And I guess from other apart from charging, the fact that, the government gets involved with shows like these, and they are quite inclusive by creating guides and other things for those people that are still not sure whether EVs are right for them. I think it's very, very progressive. But Tom, you've had quite a lot of experience driving vehicles. You've got a 10-year-old Tesla Model S?
Model S still going strong.
How many batteries have you replaced on that car?
Zero in 10 years, 120,000 kilowatts.
And how many brake pads have you had to replace?
None.
Okay, cool. That's right. I mean, that's the part of it as well. What we're learning is those early battery technologies are now getting to a stage where they do last longer than what an average person holds onto a car, which, for anyone that's interested, it's about 9 years. That's the average life of a car in Australia. So they're outlasting them, and that was the first generation. Now we've got onto the second or third generation of those electric drivetrains, and it's only going to get better, and it's going to become a no-brainer if it isn't already.
Yeah, more charging stops the better. Although I tested the new Ampol site on the M4 at Easter Creek, both sides of the highway, 10 stalls each, 400 kilowatts. So that is the future for sure. I took one of these cars as well, the EX90 to the Gold Coast from Sydney. Very easy. Particularly now that Tesla superchargers are open to all cars, not just Tesla. So that helped a lot.
And were the kids pretty happy in the back? I mean, it is one of the most comfortable, large 7-seater SUVs on the market, regardless of the powertrain.
My kids aren't 6'4" like Greg, but I did have my mother-in-law, who I love very much. I'm sorry, Greg. I did have my mother-in-law in the back. She was very comfortable, so if she's happy, we're all happy.
Awesome.
All right, thank you, Riz. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for helping us delay you. We're going to head over to XPeng now in the next 2 minutes, so please join us as we see what XPeng have in store for us. All right, gather around, everyone, to the XPeng stand, XPeng. And joining me is Jason Clark, CEO of True EV Distributors of XPeng in Australia.
Thanks, Tom. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the XPENG stand. Someone was saying to me before, we've been at a number of Future Drive expos, and they said, all EVs look the same. But again, looking around today, I don't think they do. I think I've seen some shapes, some colours, some designs, some outlooks that I've never seen before. So, welcome today, and looks like a very impressive lineup of manufacturers and displayers here. To XPeng. So XPeng, we've been importing XPeng into Australia for now just over a year. So we've completed our first anniversary, and very happy with how we've been tracking. More and more we're seeing the G6 on the road. Throughout Australia, we've got customers in every state now, and obviously more and more we're seeing the XPeng brand on the roads. Usually at these expos we like to launch something new. Today's a bit of an exception. In our lineup today we obviously have the G6, the mid-size SUV. We have the large SUV, the G9, which is slated to be distributed in Australia in 2026. It's rated as the Range Rover of EVs in Europe, and taking a close look at that, the interior, the design, you can see why. We have the Mona 03, obviously made on new AI being the acronym or initialism, if you want to get into a grammatical fight. The O3 being a nod to the Tesla Model 3. We also have the X2 flying car. Many of you will be familiar with that. It actually brings a lot of attention to XPeng at these expos. People might think it's all sizzle, no sausage, but that's not the case. This X2 has done fly time. It's real. It works. What it showcases is the XPeng brand. So XPeng is more than just a car manufacturer and an EV manufacturer. It's invested heavily in technology, manufacturing its own chips, processors, invests heavily in robotics, but also aviation in a joint venture with AeroHT to bring the X2, which was the last iteration, and new land aircraft carriers to the market. So these are very real. Looking forward, we expect to see a new lineup of cars in Australia. So the G6 has been very solid for us. XPeng are now exporting the G6 to more than 50 countries. Last month, September, was a record month, 5,000 exported vehicles, and record year-to-date numbers. So really good traction globally with the brand. What we expect here is next year, as I said, the G9, the large SUV. We also, it's not here today, unfortunately, my favourite car, which is the XPeng X9, which is the future of seven-seater transport. It's amazing. It's currently in Perth. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's good. My favourite city, Perth. So we expect to have that as well on sale in early 2026. Currently taking pre-orders, but with deliveries next year. The lineup here, you can start to see the design features of XPeng, how crisp, clear the design is, how it sits on the road. And again, as we're seeing more and more, we're seeing how it is standing out from a new crowd, let's say. So what we see with XPeng as the distributor here, as True EV, is we support XPeng obviously because of the design, the technology forward capability that it has, and how it is to drive the level of luxury. We find it well ahead of many of its competitors. So really enjoying the XPeng experience to date. Tom, Riz, guys have any questions? Questions for Jason?
How many dealers are there?
There are currently 18 across Australia. So every state is now represented except for Adelaide, South Australia, sorry, and that's coming online in the next few weeks.
Can you comment on when the new G6 is arriving?
Tom, that's a great question. A tricky one. I've seen it in the press that it's being evaluated. So there is a facelift G6 that's coming to market imminently. We aren't aware of exact dates of when that will be here.
Spec changes?
That is a spec change, yeah. So the new shape G6 has two specs, which is escapes me a little bit, performance and max. That's it. Good.
Can I ask about the Mona as well? When is that going to come?
Yeah, so we're pushing XPeng to produce the Mona for Australia. Why we like it is it's a budget price sedan. So again, exact detail of this, it was selling in China for sub $30,000. The history of the Mona, and again, made on new AI, is the acronym, is basically technology forward in a budget but high quality sedan. The specs are incredible for that price point. The history of the car is interesting as well. It was actually a joint venture with DD for autonomous taxis. That joint venture didn't proceed. XPeng were left with the bones of the Mona and produced that again for the Chinese audience. But we think as a challenger to the Tesla Model 3, we think this could do great things in Australia. Any other questions?
Have you got any dates for the EREVs coming?
Any dates for the
EREVs?
EREVs? No. Again, the rumour is 2026, but we haven't been advised of anything specific on that. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks, Tom. Thank you, Jason. Okay, so we're going to head over to Zeekraus now. So if you can make your way over to Zeekraus.
Okay, so welcome to Zapped, everyone. And once again, we have to delay you because drinks aren't quite ready. So we will spend some time with Andrew Harissa from Zapped, Head of Marketing here at Zapped Australia. And Zapped, I guess, holds a little place in my heart and Riz's heart too, because they were actually one of the first brands that invited us to China to check out their facilities in Hangzhou and in Shanghai as well. So, Andrew, that was back in 2024, I believe, mid-2024. So how have things progressed with the Zapped brand since then? In 18 months, I guess.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Chris. So it's been, I think, a year since we launched. I believe that trip was in June 2024 last year. It was a bit of an eclectic mix of team that we brought to China. I think I'm glad that we did that trip, and that gave you a preview of what Zeekraus is. For those who don't know who Zeekraus is actually a technology brand first and foremost. We started out as a technology brand. The SEA platform under the Geely Group was created by Zeekraus, and before we actually transitioned to vehicles. Last year in October, we launched with our ZeekraX, an urban cross SUV, and also the luxury people mover, the 009. And of course, the most recent addition to our lineup is the Zeekr 7X. We knew how much Australians love their midsize SUV, and the early successes of the 7X proved that 75 kilowatt LFP golden brick battery and also 100 kilowatt NMC, coupled with an all-wheel drive variant, along with auto doors and occupant monitoring system. Tech such as that what we're bringing to the market is beyond just EVs. It's also lifestyle. So we're really happy to be here with 3 products, and obviously another product will ensue in the coming, hopefully 12 months. We will let the public decide what that is. And as a preview, we have brought one vehicle into the market, one of the few. If you want to continue the questions, or do you want to take a look at the car? You still have, is drinks ready?
Not quite ready, so we still have to delay everyone, unfortunately, so we'll keep talking. Now, this Andrew, this car here has actually captured the hearts and imaginations of a lot of people. A lot of colleagues I know and friends are very, very interested in this car. How many pre-orders are we up to now with this vehicle?
I'm surprised they haven't got theirs yet. I just got 2 texts today about someone getting a delivery. One's a doctor. Maybe a mate of yours.
That's not my friend.
Look, it's been really popular, and this color in particular, I think this color had the lion's share at around perhaps, I would say 60% of the order, and the tech gray being number 2. And we also got the white one here, which is equal popularity with the black. The blue is probably the least, simply because it's only available in the all-wheel drive. But we were amazed that the popularity of the all-wheel drive encompasses the rear-wheel drive. In fact, the rear-wheel drive to us is the best offering in the market. LFP 75 kilowatt battery. It does 480 480 kilometer as well, right? Range, and I think it has everything. And as I mentioned earlier, our occupant monitoring system, allowing young families, parents of young families especially, to not have to tilt their head to look at what's happening on the second row. That's a game changer, I think, in terms of safety.
speaking of safety, I had the pleasure of driving this at 210 Ks on the straight at Tailem in Adelaide. So thank you, Andrew. That was quite a highlight, actually. Riz, you got any questions for Andrew?
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier, Andrew, that it was a year ago that zeekraus sort of did their Australian launch. It wasn't far from here; it was on the roof. So that was actually pretty close. But prior to that, after we did the China trip, the first show at the Melbourne EV show last year in August, seems like a long time ago now, was at that time you only had one product to show, which was the X. You had two of those, but there was a whole lot of people around that car because they were curious about the brand. How have you sort of seen the brand evolve in the last 12 months or so as you're sort of bringing in new products into the market?
As we know, the adoption of EV is still sitting at around 10% right now. I think it's slowly moving up, and I think with our entry to the market, we probably thought it was the right time as well, but at the same time, not knowing where the market will venture at the time. If you all remember, it was, is it the plug-in hybrid? Is it the hybrid direction? But we knew that the market was wanting a competition within this space, and we brought that, especially as a premium player. There's not many that have come before us, and I think we won't be the last either. But at the same time, that's what's exciting for us. How the market, your question was more around how things have evolved.
Yeah.
And also what we've learned. I think one biggest learning for us as well, especially with the launch of 7X, 74% of the 7X purchases or the deliveries that we did on the first day, on the 15th of October, were to first EV owners. That's telltale of not just the brand itself, but also the penchant for adoption, right? These are people of different backgrounds, no specific target audience, no agenda, nothing, and 74% of them. And for us, I think what is humbling is that 70% of them actually came from continental or European brands. So basically, a lot of the work that we've done previously to, I suppose, cement what Zeekraus is all about has come to fruition. And I mean, there's still a lot to be done. I think the brand awareness side of things, EV adoption, I think as a group collective, we can do more to let people know about what EV is all about, beyond sustainability.
Another sort of quick question. So we did the first trip in June, and then we did another trip in December. So different seasons, but that was the first time we got to drive the 7X. And when I first got in the car, I really sort of had a look at it. The materials have been finished. It was hard to tell it was a left-hand drive vehicle, whether we were even going to get the product. But someone asked me the question at that time around the pricing, and I said, if this car starts at, anything sort of under 75,000, I'd be surprised. But then you announced the pricing in August at an event in Sydney. And the top spec model with air suspension, dual motor, 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, fastest charging car in the country, was 72,990 plus on roads. And that's the reason why there's so many people that just were expecting this car to be the top spec to be over 100 grand. What have you learned by sort of launching that car at a price point that is accessible to so many more people, compared to where many in the media and journalists and others, Tom and I, were thinking this car is going to be at least over 100 grand?
Yeah, good. That's a really, really good question. Good point as well. I think as OEMs, pricing is perhaps the biggest catalyst of where things are going to be moving, especially at the start. For us, we had a few learnings, obviously, with the X and the 009. But at the same time, it's a vehicle of a different caliber and different category as well. Now, when we were pricing this vehicle, believe it or not, I was not part of the pricing strategy process, right? But at the same time, we knew that we had to make a compelling statement to the market. And again, having said that, $80,000 is not just a pretty, it's not, it's a pretty penny. Like, it's not something that someone can just splurge, right? But we knew that a lot of the buyers were looking to purchase through innovative leasing. So we definitely need to keep it on the LCT. And so that's what we did. And obviously that's part of the offer as well. There was an offer of 7-year warranty, 7-year roadside assist, on top of that free interior, exterior color, wall charges. Now, the price have gone up slightly due to the colors, but at the same time, it's still under LCT. So we try to keep things compelling. And that's pretty much the reason why. I mean, we also go out to market and survey, ask what's the most likelihood path to purchase. And, Novated at least came on top. So we had to be strategic in that regards.
No, it's a very compelling package, that's for sure, and well done on the price. Now, if this car, are we unveiling this car right now for you? Ross?
Just before drinks, though.
Okay, well, we're pretty close. I think we're pretty close. So, if this car is what I think it is, I think the staff at the Shanghai Auto Show had to wipe my drool off this car when I was there looking at it, because this is the one I personally wouldn't mind having in my garage. Like, are we going to walk this way? And
I'm gonna take note of that. Remember, he's gonna pre-order this car, Tom.
I was very vague in my language, but
you'll be changing your YouTube channel as well by the time.
Are we walking this way? Are we? Let's follow. Follow us, everyone. This is the car that you definitely want to see.
So I'll probably give an introduction first before we unveil. Right? So following the success of 7X, of the same breadth, same design, same technology in terms of battery, 800 volts, comes in 2 variants, a rear-wheel drive and an all-wheel drive as well with 800 volts, 75 kilowatt LFP and 100 NMC. It's perhaps the baby brother or the baby sister of the 7X. I present to you the 7 GT.
Okay. Okay.
I think when we were somewhat, just prior to launching the 7X, we did a survey, Tom, do you remember? On your channel, I think you did a survey, you were asking what vehicles do people want to see. And this came up on top as well. And we're glad to have the left-hand drive here today. It's still under study. And it's one of the vehicles that we are considering bringing into the Australian market. And the way we move right now, I think you'll know very soon whether or when this car will be coming. Feel free to come around, have a look. Thank you, Andrew and team. So this is a shooting brake or a station wagon. This variant comes with obviously the Stargate as well at the front, which ADR has to approve eventually because it's such a beautiful aspect of Zeekraus vehicle, one of our core identity. I say 800 volts, 0 to 100 in just under 3 seconds. The back coefficient of 0.198.
Andrew, this is, hello media. Now this car is pretty incredible. I've had the pleasure of driving the sedan version of this car at a racetrack. Are we expecting that sort of performance? Because there's not a lot of performance flagged into the market.
Absolutely, I think it's that performance. It's exactly that performance. And we are actually quite excited about the potential sales. This vehicle into the market, or station wagon might not be a big market share holder. It's not a big category, but I think we know that there's a lot of demand. Just because there's very little choices doesn't mean that there's no demand.
That's exactly it. And a lot of the sports sedan sort of buyers, they end up with those vehicles because there's just nothing practical that's sporty enough
And midlife crisis, dads who want performance and also space for the kids. Who wants this car on the market? Raise of hands. Oh, not many. Thanks, Sim.
Now, what's this color? Is it grey? Is it purple? Is it?
It's a purple. Product team. Can I get a understanding of what this color is? We've got Melvin here.
Shade of purple.
Oh,
Not
okay.
quite as bright as your shirt though.
Yeah, we don't have names yet at the moment in China. I won't use the name that they use in China at the moment, but we will be looking at different, I guess, color palette as well for our market. As you know, they are more out there back home.
Yeah,
so look at different color options.
So when this car was unveiled at the Shanghai Auto Show, it just goes to show the speed at which the vehicles are coming out, because I happened to go to a Zeekr showroom and they had the GT, and they had a whole bunch of people around the car because it had just been announced and it was already in the showroom. So that's Zeekr speed. Given that, there was so much hype off the back of that, and in Australia, one of the things that I'm noticing is that because we don't have more practical safety wagons, giving them something like that where they would normally spend anywhere between 150 to 200 grand by the Audi RS6, probably about 300 grand now. It's going to be that happens.
I think it seems like with the 7X, we do see the potential of this vehicle. We're really one day hoping to see this car in the market. As you mentioned earlier on, we did launch this car prior to Shanghai Auto Show because we want a different vehicle at the auto show, which is a bigger vehicle, much bigger. The Zeekr 9X. Now, who wants to see the Zeekr 9X in Australia?
Yeah.
So yes, look, I can't share too many things right now, but in due time, we will let you know what's in consideration and what's most likely to come, but there's a few of them that we are considering.
Now, one last,
Sorry. My question is bit simple. The interval between your launches in China and the transition from left-hand drive to right-hand drive seems to be a bit longer than a lot of the community would be quite happy with. Is that something you'd be looking to speed up?
That's a great question, but I think speed to market, if you think about it, going from left to right takes a minimum of 12 months. And I think before, at the speed at how fast we're releasing cars, on its own, in the last 4.5 years, we've got 12, by the way, to date. It's amazing. And considering that we've only gone out to market just a little over 2 years ago, it's been an experience and a learning exercise as well. So that's why I think we will be curating our product better. Right, we are not, as you know, we've only got 3 vehicles right now, whereas we've got 12 globally. So I think from the HQ's perspective, they need to look at what's necessary for the market as well, not just because China has updated their product. That means that the other market has to go along. Now, for example, the 7X, as you know, as all of you are aware, they've got an update back in China now. However, our commitment to the market is that it will not come under 18 months. So the vehicle that you have today is the latest that you can get from Zeekr in the market.
I don't think my question is fair. So, in the context of the 7X, for example, was launched, I think it was last year? And we had to wait about 12 months, like you said. But given the fact that your time to market for your cars, in 2 to 3 years, you've done 12 models. So, based on my understanding of the life cycles of the cars and everything else, and the fact that you've already had a refresh within 18 months, the time interval from the launch of the 7X to its launch in Australia, that gap, there was a pent-up frustration waiting for it, is what I'm trying to say.
You mean from the early days to now? The 12 months I think is pretty accurate, as I mentioned, right? Like it takes 12 months from left-hand drive to right-hand drive. Yeah, it's frustrating for myself as well, working for the company. I would like to bring as many products as I can to the company, and I think we are urged by the business as well to push as many as possible. We're going at seeker speed right now. The next speed will be supersonic seeker speed, perhaps. But yes, I totally understand your question, but it's something that we will continue to improve, and over time. And as we are in the market longer, we have done better studies. Perhaps potentially we might even be tuning our cars here in the future. So things such as that might help improve that cycle.
Thanks, Andrew.
Good question.
Thanks to the team at Zeekraus. Are we nearly ready? The drinks nearly ready? Drinks are ready.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.